Hello everyone, it is me, Nalaray, and I have bought myself an MTG Shadows over Innistrad booster pack. So, this is the first pack that I have owned that I have just bought 5 minutes ago at a store. This is the first pack, first pack I bought of Shadows over Innistrad. I decided to open it. Let's see what I got. I'm only probably going to do this for every one pack. For like every one box that opens with new sets. Okay. So, I have got an Unruly Mob. Costs 2 mana, 1 generic, 1 white. Creature, human, 1/1. When another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on Unruly Mob. That could do good in a graveyard deck, probably. Next up is Silverland Snapper. It is a 6-drop, 5 generic, 1 blue, 6/6 creature turtle. Silverland Snapper can't attack unless you've cast a non-creature spell this turn. So that might... oh, whoops. There, that's easier to see. So I guess that could be good in like a prowess deck? I don't know. But, next up, we have Vessel of Ephemera. It's a 2-drop enchantment, 1 generic, 1 white. With pay 3, 2 generic, 1 white. Sacrifice Vessel of Ephemera. Put 2 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield. Okay. I've seen some cards that might do good with this. Plus, once again, do good in a graveyard deck. So, that could be good. Okay. Next up, we have Wicker Witch. This is a 3-drop, 3 generic, artifact creature Scarecrow. It's a 3/1. So this could be good in an aggro deck, I believe. I don't really know what the proper term is, but pretty powerful for rather low cost, but it's kind of a waste for that one toughness. Next card is Farbog Revenant. It's a 3-drop, 1 black, 2 generic, 1/3 with Skulk. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. So that is a rather interesting ability that's new to the Shadows over Innistrad block, I believe. And it's also got lifelink. This is a rather good card. It's unblockable most of the time, and it gives you lifelink. It's pretty good. I might use that. Next up is Rush of Adrenaline. So 1 red drop. Target creature gets +2/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. Your basic aggro card, I think. I don't really know. I don't even know what the term aggro means in a deck. I'm just saying words out of my face hole. But, gets +2/+1 and gains trample. Pretty good for a 1 red drop. I do say so myself. Next up is Quilled Wolf. It is a 2-drop, 1 generic, 1 green, 2/2. Pay 6, 5 generic, 1 green. Quilled Wolf gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Now that is a lot. I don't really see this being in a lot of decks, except for a werewolf deck. But even then, I don't think it would get much use out of it. But that's my opinion, and I'm not smart. Okay. Next up, we have Merciless Resolve. It is a 3-drop, 2 generic, 1 black, instant card, spell. As an additional cost to cast Merciless Resolve, sacrifice a creature or land. Draw 2 cards. Again, with the Shadows over Innistrad block, this will be great in a graveyard deck. There's a lot of decks in the Shadows over Innistrad block, I might imagine. Alrighty. Next card we have is Hulking Devil. It's a 4-drop, 3 generic, 1 red. Creature Devil 5/2. Now this is a rather beefy card, but once again it's got very low toughness, so it might get some play, but I don't really see it. Next up, we have Compelling Deterrence. It's a 2-drop, 1 blue, 1 generic, instant spell. And it says, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Then that player discards a card if you control a zombie. So this is pretty good for a control deck. A black-blue zombie control deck. Black-blue graveyard control deck. Which I might think about making. I'm really into black-blue decks. So yeah, get rid of a land, get rid of a permanent and own controls, and make them discard a card. Cool. Cool. Next up we have Nahiri's Machinations. It is a 2-drop enchantment. 1 generic, 1 red. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Pay 2, 1 red, 1 generic. Nahiri's Machinations deals 1 damage to target blocking creature. Okay, this is really, really good in my opinion. At the beginning of your combat, target creature you control gains indestructible. That is very, very good in my opinion for a 2-drop. I will most likely be putting a white deck together and put this in it. Now we have Ongoing Investigation. Another enchantment 2-drop. They probably like a lot of 2-drops in the Shadows over Innistrad block. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with pay 2 generic, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. Pay 2, 1 generic, 1 green, exile a creature card from your graveyard, investigate. You gain 2 life. Now this is going to go heavily in those new investigate decks. And once again, just like Nahiri's Machinations, I feel like this is like a I don't know what the word is, but like a banding. It's not banding, but I don't really remember what the word is, but kind of like clan focusing? I don't know. But you got your investigators and your ruthless serial murderers. So yeah, I feel like there's going to be some more enchantments like this out there. 2-drops with a certain special ability and a pay 2 ability. So keep an eye out for those. Maybe. I don't really know what you're looking for. Okay. Next up is a rare. Epiphany at the Drown Yard. Pay X generic and 1 blue. Instant spell. Reveal the top X plus 1 cards of your library and separate them into 2 piles. An opponent chooses one of those piles. Put that pile into your hand and the other pile into your graveyard. This is pretty good, and it's got that new 2-pile thing going on in the Shadows over Innistrad block. So keep an eye out for that. That might be pretty good. And next up is an uncommon. No, it's a common. Right behind. Okay. This is Solitary Hunter, 4-drop, 3 generic, 1 green, creature, human, warrior, werewolf. It is a 3/4 in the sun form. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform Solitary Hunter. And it transforms into one of the pack. It's a 5/6. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, transform one of the pack. And it transforms back into Solitary Hunter. So how I think that the Shadows over Innistrad block will work is that you'll have all your normal-sided cards in one side of your deck, in one side of the booster pack. You'll get your commons, your uncommons, your rares, then your mythics. And then what I think they're going to do is that these flip cards, these transform cards, they'll put them at the back so that you know when you get a transform card. That is pretty cool. I rather like that. And then I get this thing. You can mark this card to represent a double-faced card in your library or hand. Oh. Okay. I see what this is. So, when you have a certain card that flips, you can mark it down on this, like Neglected Heirloom and Breakneck Rider, and you put down its toughness down there. That's rather interesting. Besides that, it's just a normal card. And my token is a clue token. Token artifact clue. Pay 2 generic, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. Alright. And that concludes it for my first pack of Shadows over Innistrad. I don't know if I like the way it turned out, but I did get some rather interesting cards. So, I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. But I'll give them a little rundown. Okay, and that concludes this video. Thank you for watching. And I cannot wait for the next block to come out so I can show you the first pack I opened from that block. And see ya.